How are you? My name is Josie. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have titled this video, Where Does It Come From? And I'm talking to y'all in my, what do you call it? I always start off in my kindergarten teacher voice. So, yeah, the title of this video is Where Does It Come From? Right? Because along my journeys and being out there in the world and interacting with people, one of the biggest questions that I get is, where does it come from? Okay? They're talking about the energy, the joy, the laughter, uh, the light, however you want to describe it. They're like, how can I get there? How does that work? Right? And it's personally, I don't think it's something that you do. Okay, you don't you don't have a conscious goal of getting to a destination of joy, right? And for me personally, joy is not the same thing as happiness. Joy is not the same thing as fulfillment. Joy is an energy, just like love is an energy, right? Joy is just a facet of love. It's a facet that is radiant. Okay. It's like the sunshine part of love, joy. It's a very extremely heightened state of being, whether it's within you or not. It's an extreme to me. When you hold joy within you and you carry it around, even though it may not be expressed extremely, it is still there, and it is so extreme that people see it and feel it, whether you want to express it or not. It's just there. It's something that you can't really actually hide. They just know that you've got this energy about you, right? So, um, I want to talk to you guys about how I got here, or how I think I got here, because I don't actually know. This is my hypothesis. And the one thing that I want people to understand is that we live in a world that has polarities: up, down, left, right, hot, cold, whatnot, right? And you can never fully know something without its opposite, okay? You can never fully appreciate warmth if you have not experienced cold, okay? Otherwise, we would be walking around here indifferent about everything. If we didn't have these extremes and did not need to make conscious effort to balance them, then that would kind of take away the whole point of having emotions and all that other stuff. It all works together, like vitamins. Look, I know I may not be making sense to some of y'all, but bear with me, okay? I did not grow up laughing like I laugh. I did not grow up smiling like I smile, okay? Um, a lot of people, they perceive me one way, usually different than what I am or I feel I am, right? And I've had that my whole life. Thank the 12th house planets, right? I don't see myself the way other people see me. Great. So, a lot of my childhood, I was quiet, maybe passive aggressive, because, I try to own my shit even from way back when. I think I was more of a quiet, passive aggressive, sneaky little something, you know? I've always, from my childhood, loved art and loved play, you know? I've always loved coloring, bubbles, hula hoops, you know, little batons with the glitter and the water in them and stuff. But the one thing that I think helped me spiritually, I know it may not make any sense to you guys, but there was a purpose for everything in my life. I understand that now. But I spent a lot of time alone and unsupervised. Okay? Alone and unsupervised. And even when I was around my cousins, I felt alone. I did not feel a part of their nuclear families, okay? What is going on? It says something went wrong. Talking about some tap to retry. Anyway, hopefully y'all can still hear me. So, even though I wasn't adopted, I kind of had that feeling growing up. Like I felt alone. And a lot of light workers have this. Even if they have a whole nuclear family, mom, dad, brothers, and sisters, you still have this loneliness, you know? And that's how it was for me. So, because I had so much time alone, um, I think that that's how I was able to believe in something I couldn't see. I needed something because there was nothing physical for me to really hold to. Your family and friends can only do so much with what they know. And sometimes that expression is not exactly healthy. But nonetheless, if someone tells you that they love you, this is one lesson that I've learned. I don't care what they've done to you. If someone is saying that they love you and you feel it, okay, they are not lying to you. But then when you start to experience the negative expressions of love, that's when you start to wonder, well, did this person ever love me? Well, they're loving you the way that they learned how to love. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I have learned to stop thinking that that person never loved me because of how they treated me. I've learned to separate that, the expression, from the actual feeling and sincerity of the situation. And again, there's a difference between loving someone and caring for them and being in love with them, like romantically. There's a difference. Um, I love my family back in Texas. I don't talk to them though. And it's not because they've done anything wrong. It's just that we express love differently. And as much as I've grown up with them and they should have been able to influence me, it didn't stick. Nothing stuck. I did not choose to love the way that they love. And again, that's a starseed lightworker trait. You're the cycle breaker. You're the one that just doesn't stick. If everybody was on drugs, you know, you're probably the one that's not gonna go down that path. You may try it, but it won't stick, right? Um, so all that time that I had to myself, I would ask myself questions. You know, I would question everything. I had a lot of solitude and mental stuff going on when I was little, and I observed quite a bit because during my time, children are seen and not heard. And God forbid you express your feelings, right? So I watched a lot of things happen around me with people, and it was intriguing to me as a Scorpio moon. Psychology, here we go, right? Um, it was intriguing to me, people's motives, their reasoning, their actions, I got a front row seat to chaos and all of the wrong decisions, right? So I happen to be one of those few people that, for the most part, not all, not 100%, but for the most part, I can watch something go down and learn from it instead of having to go through it myself. So I learned a lot of what not to do by observing my family. So then I used my will to um, make different choices. Doesn't mean that I did not try certain things that their way or the way that I was observing. It's just that it didn't stick. I didn't go all the way with it, and it ended up being my life, you know? Um, you know what creates a lot of joy within someone? You know what makes a person smile a lot? It's not another person. It's not some external thing like houses and cars and riches and all this and that. What what creates joy within someone, really divine, genuine joy that is unbreakable and unshakable, right? Again, I'm not talking about the expression, I'm not talking about the mood, I'm talking about the energy that you carry within you, that radiance. What what creates that is loss, disappointment, confusion, trauma. That's what creates it. Okay? So I've had a lot of situations in my life where I was free falling and had nothing to hold on to but the idea of a higher power outside of me. And the idea of a higher power outside of me was proven over and over again because some of the things that I've seen, I'm wondering why people didn't die. How is this happening? And how is this person still alive? How am I still alive? You guys, the level of trauma and violence that I've been exposed to my whole life, literally, is no joke. I did not get here by being fulfilled externally. I have had to transform so much, and I am still constantly transforming. The difference is I've embraced it now. I've embraced the cycles of transformation that make me who I am when I need to be whoever that is. Okay? So for those of you who are out there still holding on to the things that happened in your childhood, still holding on to things that happened, you know, and you're not using the tools to heal and really own yourself, because you lose yourself when you experience trauma and you have to go reclaim yourself back. Okay? I'm telling you it's possible. I'm telling you it's possible to smile and to laugh. I'm telling you it's possible to overcome whatever it is, the darkest of the dark. Because guess what? Once you get out of your own way and you own yourself, that is when your radiance starts to grow. Okay? All of those reasons that you had to be upset, to feel trapped, to feel powerless, to feel unloved, thrown away, kicked to the curb, right? All of those triggers and reasons that you had to feel like that, because what do feelings do? They stop action or they inspire action. So if you are not consciously trying to do the work to get out of the darkness that you are in, then you're going to constantly create negative energy and blindness. When you do the work and you use the tools available to you in this physical reality, right? What you're doing is you're tending to your garden and you're growing your light. You're growing your radiance. You become more understanding about human nature, more understanding about what have happened to you. When so many things have been taken away from you, okay? When you have made so many jacked up decisions, when people that were connected to you were affected by your decisions, when you were affected by others' decisions, at some point things get so extreme that you don't have a choice but to grow your light because you can't see a thing in the dark. And you're the only one that can turn your light on. So don't be afraid to feel your feelings. Don't be afraid to get into it, especially when you're talking to source, right? Get into it, feel everything, because that's the only way you're going to hear your true voice and your truth. I have been broken quite a bit, okay? I came into this world rough. I'm pretty sure I almost left a couple of times, okay? But apparently I'm here for a reason, right? I'm never going to understand my sister or my brother's situation. Shit, I don't even understand my mom, okay? She's a whole walking miracle herself. The decisions that she has made affected my sister and my brother, okay? But it did not stick with me. And what I think is so interesting is that even back when I was a teenager, I promise y'all, I only got smart with her one time. And I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna never forget that day. And we've been cool ever since. Okay? But, you know, here's the deal with my mom. I could have chosen to be like my sister and hate her and be mad at her and damn near try to kill her on a couple of occasions. I could have, right? But even as a teenager, which is crazy and unheard of, I had grace with my mother, even with all of my complicated feelings. Okay? I didn't live with her for any extended period of time. Everything was always like short spurts until I was like 17 years old and I had a kid by then. You know what I'm saying? So that was the beginning of me and her relationship. Because before that, she was not in my life because she couldn't be. Okay? She has gone through a lot. And ever since I was a child, I was able to see through it all, through the struggles. I was able to see her wisdom. No matter what people said about her, I was able to see it. Again, there's that light worker, star seed, mystical being stuff right there. Um, I have a lot of grace because a lot of grace was bestowed upon me. Grace is abundant. Grace is forgiving and grace is liberating. Okay? It's amazing. So, joy, eternal divine joy, is cultivated through the darkness. It's cultivated through your lowest lows. Because just as dark and bad as stuff can get, that's how light you can get. But you have to consciously choose to be that light, to turn it on, to grow it, to express it. Do you see? The light just is. It's there. It's there the whole time. But you have to allow it. And in order to allow it, you got to get out of your own way. Step aside. When things are all too much, When things are too extreme, step aside and let the child within you speak. They have the solution. If you're lonely, you can't understand why you haven't found your soulmate. You don't know why you never had a dad, or you don't understand why you were abused or whatever. When you start to feel those feelings and have those questions, let the person within you speak. And you will be pleasantly surprised to find out how simple the answer is. I'm telling you, your inner child is a genius. Let yourself speak. We don't let ourselves speak because we were programmed to think that things should be a certain way. We're all chasing the American dream and whatnot. If you do this, you should get that, right? And then we're locked down by contracts, so we want to lock each other down with contracts, because all we know is all of these contracts and these spells with this English language that we're putting on each other constantly is all a setup. But should you be mad about it? No. You shouldn't be angry about it. But I'm not here to tell you how you should be. Okay? It's just my opinion, right? Your power is not in anger. Your power is in joy. Your power is in the freedom that joy brings, the liberation. But you got to go through murky waters with thorns and fire and venom and all kinds of stuff to get to that place where you have that unshakable joy within you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel sad. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be upset when things happen in life. Okay? It just means that you will be able to recalibrate yourself and bring yourself back to joy. Some people are not there yet where they can have their feelings in the moment and then come back to joy. They're not there yet. And this is where you gotta utilize your tools that are available to you. And if you don't know what those tools are, ask for tools to become available to you, to come into your awareness. Hey, source, I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. I need help. Please show me the way. Please give me a sign. Please bring me a solution. Please make me aware of this solution. Make it easy for me to understand that this is the solution. And as usual, the universe will show up and show out. It has been proven to me my whole life that you seek and you will find. But a lot of people are afraid to seek because they're afraid of what they're going to find based off of what their mental ego self is telling them. Their ego and their mind is telling them nobody's ever going to forgive you. You screwed up too bad. Your mind will tell you all kind of lies based off of circumstances, and nobody ever told you a word. But you done told yourself that I'm unforgivable, I'm unlovable, I'm just a horrible person, blah blah blah. You tell yourself all kinds of stuff, but again, we were set up to literally automatically do that to ourselves. And you've got to break free from that. You've got to realize you've been set up to literally cast spells upon yourself and keep yourself in a prison. Okay? You got to realize that. And then you've got to consciously work hard every moment of every day to undo what has been done. And if you don't know what has been done, how are you going to fix it? That's why it's important to become aware of the forces that are against you. You don't have to get in your feelings about it, but if you become aware of the tools that are being used against you, you can use those tools to reinforce yourself and to help others. You can use the positive side of those tools. They are tools. You can either hit somebody with a hammer or you can build a house with a hammer. Which one you want to do? Okay? And this is something that I've known since early on in my childhood by watching the tools being used in a very negative way. I said, okay, I am not going to do this that way. I understand the purpose. Like with my sister, let me tell y'all about my sister. A lot of y'all probably think I'm an only child, okay? But check this out. My sister loves hard. That is not a bad thing. She loves hard, okay? But the expression of her love is dangerous, literally. So this is why we don't necessarily talk and have a actual relationship. Her expression of love is very dangerous. She has a huge heart and she loves hard, but she's not really safe to be around for extended periods of time. Hey, it is what it is. I peeped that early on, so I've kept my distance. Okay? Um, you don't have to be afraid of yourself. You're not a monster. You're not stupid. You're not incompetent. Okay? You've got to undo the lies. And for those of you asking, well, where do you start? You start by feeling your feelings. Go isolate yourself. And the best way to do this is my thing here. I like to get into it. If you're out somewhere, blah, 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 whatever, something triggers you and you get angry, you lit, right? If you can, cancel everything else in your day and you take that energy while it's hot and you go isolate yourself and you snowball. You feel all your feelings. You make it about everything, not just that one trigger. You snowball. You go as far as you could possibly go with your feelings and you cuss, you scream, you talk about it, you say how you feel, and you ask why this and why that, and you think until you can't think anymore. You cry until you can't cry anymore, and you freaking just give it all, okay? Because I promise you, you're gonna get tired. Your brain's gonna stop thinking. Your tears are gonna dry up. It ain't gonna be no more. And you're just going to be in a full state of surrender. And that is how you get out of the way and you let yourself speak. And by yourself, I mean the source within you. Because once you have drained all of your energy and you can't even think no more because you allowed yourself to go crazy in the safety and comfort of your walk-in closet, of your bedroom, of your living room, of your under your bed, I don't care. You allowed yourself to lose it, right? You're going to hear everything you need to hear. You're going to receive everything you need to receive. Because this is how I did it, and this is how I do it. The thing is, my sorrows and misery and suffering or traumas or whatever, they have been shortened over time because of the fact that I use my tools. I recognize when things are starting to get a little dark and I immediately combat them with my tools. I will bust out affirmations. I will not answer my phone. My phone's been on airplane mode all day today. It's going to be funny to find out who is trying to talk to me. I will do whatever I need to do because I've tasted peace. I know peace. I know divine love. I've felt it. I've had a whole mystical experience. And I bring myself back before I go back out and engage with the world. Okay? There's nobody to blame for anything. There's nothing matters. But everything matters when you're triggered. Everything matters when you're hurt. Too much matters in those situations. But if you want to cultivate divine joy, if you want to smile more, because I didn't start smiling and laughing like this until 2014, you guys. It started with 1111, then astrology, then I learned Reiki. And through those processes and talking to source and feeling all of my feelings and spending time alone, doing the work, owning my shit, self-honesty is a big deal, okay? Through all of that, I realized that a lot of what I was holding on to and making a big deal was not a big deal. I started to see things differently, and I started to realize some of these people who hurt me, some of these situations that didn't work out for me, well, there was a reason. There was a reason. And I started to have empathy for those people in those situations. It didn't excuse them. I didn't forget, but it doesn't hurt me to think about it. You see, I don't snowball when I think about some of those things. This is what they mean by untouchable, you guys. This is how you become untouchable. You've got to walk through that fire knowing that you will not burn. You cannot be afraid of yourself. The fire is you. You are one. Okay? I think I've rambled enough, but I hope that has helped anybody who has come across this video. Divine joy that you carry that is unbreakable is something that you have to cultivate and consciously choose. Okay? Eventually, what you want to stick will stick, whether it's misery or joy. Which one are you constantly choosing on a daily basis? Think about it. You can do it. You can do the work. I still have to do the work, just not as often. This transmutation thing is a thing. You can transmute and you get really good at it. And you don't have to even know that a ruined day is a thing. Like, that's not a thing. What's a ruined day? How does a day get ruined? What? Yeah, it's that deep. But I love y'all. And I'll chat with y'all soon. Bye.